Hi, just creating a quick tutorial today on the basics of using Dropbox. Most of you would be very skilled at using Dropbox. You'd have no worries. Occasionally we get a couple of clients that aren't familiar with it, haven't done some quick Google research on it. So we just give them this tutorial when they ask, what do I do? So create your Dropbox account, log into your account, make sure you can see you're logged in with your own name or whatever, or if you're using your business name. You'll notice I'm not using Dropbox, business here, and I'm also not synchronizing my Dropbox, with my local computer. I just prefer to use it this way. I don't have to use Dropbox every 5 minutes of every single day of the week. So I'm always logged in. I can just, open a new tab, just type in Dropbox, and I'm in my Dropbox, files section here. I can see the folders for other things that I've, done in the past, and or folders that I access periodically, and or have got, synchronized or shared with my clients, where they might put photos in there occasionally for me to use for, ongoing campaign projects or whatever. Anyway, so point is, I'm always logged in. Just go to your files section if you're not there already. Go up to this icon here, where hover over it, it'll say new folder, create a new folder, call it whatever you want to call it. In this case, uh, I'm doing this for a client, particular client, so I'll use their business name. Okay, so a bit of branding exposure for that particular client there, Bucket List Tours New Zealand. Okay, so done that. Find the new folder, it's in alphabetical order, go into that. Like on your own computer, you want to set up your files, logically, so that both you and the person you're sharing files with in the future can, find what they're looking for quickly. So in this case, this client wants to share, photos with me, so I would get them to follow what I'm doing here now, which would just be creating another new folder inside the folder and call it, photos for website. Okay, or just photos, either or. Go into that. Okay, and then create some subfolders. So for each batch of images, I would get them, or if they're categorized in different ways, I would get them to categorize their folders. So yeah, in this instance, we're just going to create one bundled folder. Photos, we'll call it 001, so we've got a naming convention. Photos for website 01, or photo bundle will do for website 01. Okay, so at least that way, if for whatever reason, they're going to send me more than one bundle, they can, name the folders 002 and call it the same thing 003, and then, we'll see the dates. Right click, you could rename on it, not dates, you would see the order in which the folders or the files were sent to me. You could also put the date at the end of it, which would be even more handy for me. Put a hyphen here and just put, whatever the date is. Great. Okay, so it's renaming. Click into that folder, go to your computer, find the files that you want to put into that folder that you want to share with the other person. Literally just select them. Control key on your keyboard on a PC to select more than one, or if it's the entire folder, use the shift key or whatever, and just drag them. Just make sure you've selected them and just drag them into this white area. It says, this folder is empty, drag and drop files into this window to upload. So it's really straightforward. You'll watch your uploader progress bar down the bottom. It'll tell you how much time it's going to take. We've got 1 minute left here. Great. so that's one done. The other one is uploading now as well, apparently. The other thing I say to our clients is when they're supplying us photos, name the file, give it like a proper descriptive name so we know what the actual images we're looking at. For a website, we're probably going to use that name as the alt tag for the image when we put it into the website, possibly. Unless we're doing SEO, like proper SEO work, we're going to come up with the best possible alt tag that we can. If we're adding like captions to the images, we may initially just use, the file name as the caption as well. You know, and if we've got a client who like doesn't give us a proper descriptive name for that, image, and we're just having to, use what's given or guess, what the actual image is, it can create a whole lot more back and forth with the client. If we can't guess what it is, we've got to contact them. We've got to get them to tell us then what the name of the image actually is, or get them to create some sort of an Excel file, and email that back to us. It creates more work for them, creates more work for us. Choose budget, like you wouldn't believe. And even if we went and published the images into the website and then asked them to log into the website themselves once we train them and change out the image, alt tags and, image captions and stuff, that's, again, it's creating more work for them. It's double, triple handling in a lot of cases. If they had just given us the right file name, the right name of the image, told us what it was from the get-go, would have saved a whole lot of, additional work, and time and money, Alright, so those two, they're uploaded. So it's saying now, two files have been uploaded. Details, don't need to worry about that. We can see they're done. Okay, so now we can go back. We could share each one of these files, but, we don't want to share them individually. We want to share that entire folder. So we'll just use our little icon here, click on that. It's got a down arrow so you can see, it will show us the different layers of the folders. So here we are, photos for website. We'll just hit back, go back to here, and we'll share this entire folder. And we'll share it with a particular person. So we would put in their email address here. So let's just use my email address. Okay, so that would be the recipient's email address. We can write them a quick note. I'll just write it to myself. Write whatever you want, and then share it. And so that person is going to receive an email notifying them that a folder on Dropbox has been shared with them, and job's done. All going to plan. They can then click on the link within that email notification, go in here, and then click into the folders. They should be able to extract, or download any images. Right click and just go download, and that'll download the folder with the images in it. It's as simple as that, and that's the end of the tutorial.